Busy day. Let's get going. Looks like we're going to do an emergency record today, which might push a weekend day back a day. I don't know that we would want to do a day off, day on kind of thing. But regardless, we should have some footage going up. That might actually really help if we push to Sunday, as Saturday I got a family ask that I could commit to. I'm going to go do an IT job. First one in 6 months, I want to say. There was like a big dry spell there, and then there was COVID, and then that was a big dry spell. They were just barely trickling around in there, and then there was a longer delayed dry spell, and then injury, blah blah blah, till now. Interesting that injury coming along so far, and suddenly here's the thing: fix a phone, fix a computer. Like, interesting. Hopefully it goes quick. I want to wrap it up. I want to like get in and out. Don't want to spend a ton of time on that. Oh, excuse me. Not good. Can't be doing that. It's like 3:40 in the afternoon. But yeah, so I want to get this recorded and put up. Gosh, I had a ton of blabbing about games yesterday. I've got picked up for $12 the re-release of Scott Pilgrim, the video game. You know, I was enamored with the comic, but I also had this little like chunk of righteousness inside me that was like, come on, man, you're just rewriting River City Ransom and other Nintendo games. But it was fun. The idea that it would become so big in that there was like a little flashpoint. It wasn't long, but it was pretty intense. And it had a movie and everything. And that movie is fine. It's a little different from the comic, blah, blah. It's like the usual discussions there. And then a game, Ubisoft, I forget, Ubisoft published that probably would have come and gone a little more than it did, but they lost the publishing rights on like PS3, Xbox. So it had sort of fallen into obscurity. Like fans wanted to play it, but there was no avenue to get it. And I think that kept it a little more interesting because I still owned it and I could play it, but I wasn't going to hook up my PS3 to play it. Even though it's a pretty neat little River City Ransom take. And as a River City Ransom take, I'm like, yeah, I want to play this again. And I'm playing it again, and I was like, well, yeah, you start off like a sack of crap, and it takes forever to stop being a sack of crap. I mean by sack of crap is that you have stats, and you need to beat people up, get money, spend the money on food or in comic books that make you stronger by reading or eating them. Read the food and eat the comic books. And those stats like truly matter. Especially, man, I think maybe the early problem really is that you're slow. You're just kind of a slow sack of crap, and you're like, let's go. I mean, you can run, but it's you can't even like do running attacks. You can't even do. The characters aren't really like unique when they start because all the unique powers are like their max level moves, and I get the like design impetus there. Like, let's really reward you for getting to the max. But unfortunately, when you start a new character, you're like, this character sucks, or he's not unique enough, or it's the real catch-22 there. There's probably a better way. Right now, I've just been farming the like first level or so with the subspace world, because you get like a few bucks just by going through subspace, so it's just easy. There's almost certainly a better place to grind and just beat people up, and character's now strong enough to like beat them up in a much more reasonable amount of time. I'm pretty sure it has a weird typo that there's like a ground pound maneuver when they're down. You can hit them when they're down, and it says down in square. And I'm pretty sure it's down in triangle. Like as far as I can tell, it is just down in triangle. And for it to still just be up and glitched like that is kind of fascinating. Glitched. It's not really a glitch, but yeah, that got through all of QA, and it has never been patched since then. It had to have been caught in QA. It's kind of cool because in the fiction of Scott Pilgrim, he, important to the story spoiler if you're a fucking idiot, at one point early in the story, he beats somebody and he gets a 1-up, and it's like a visual joke. There's a little floating head of him that says like 1-up, and he's like, "The hell is this?" And he gets it, and he's like, "I have a 1-up." And then later in the story, he gets like killed by like the arch rival or whatever, and he's like, you're like, "Oh God, he's dead." It's like, well, yeah, no, he has the 1-up, so it pays off. So in the game, when you fight the skater dude that gives him the 1-up, that happens the first time you fight him, but they don't give you 1-ups after that, which I feel like that's like a little like, oh, we just can't do it, we swear. But you can go to stores and buy 1-ups, and so you can just pile up 1-ups. You know, there's like achievements in there that are like beat it on the hardest difficulty. It's like, well, you start your game, choose difficulty, get in the game, do whatever you want. So you can put it on like normal, and then run around, get your money, buy 1-ups, and then put it on hard and beat hard. It's like, it's just a thing. So one of those games where you can just kind of like earn your way through it, especially like the harder difficulty. Man, if you put on hard and just started, it would just be a slog. Like enemies just have too many hit points. I don't think they play particularly more intelligently or anything like that. 10. But yeah, the game had a little higher place in my memory of it being like really cool. It's not like it's bad, but the soundtrack still kick ass. Man, it's just rough. It's not as good as I remembered. It's hardly bad. And it has like Knives, a character named Knives Chow, which I think was DLC in the original, is unlocked by default now. And that was like, I think the only thing that was missing in the original to have like all the achievements. So that now you just have it, and I'm like, oh. There was some problem in the original. You would fight Knives' dad, and you needed to like beat him. And whenever he showed up, I'd be like, whatever, because it's the kind of game where when an enemy shows up, you could just keep walking. You could just keep moving. So it's not. It's just, it's like, oh no, that like extra hard random dude, fuck off. So I don't think I beat him. And then it was one of those things like if you didn't beat him the first time he showed up, he may never show up again, or due to some kind of small, not even like scripting error, but like snafu or like design choice. It was like, because you're not leveling up, he won't show up. Like he only shows up when you level or something. I could have started the game over, I guess, and gotten him, but it was one of those things. It's like, do I really freaking care? I really don't even know if I care this time. There's one on there that's like use a head stomp to stomp on like 10 people, and I'm like, there must be a place where I do this. There's one where it's like beat a level without getting hit, and I'm like, I think I used to do that in like a roller rink level or something. Yeah. I've been grinding away in the game on the early levels, so I haven't gotten to those levels that I'm remembering either. But yeah, I'll probably knock that out. I mean, it's a beat 'em up. It's like River City Ransom. It's not quite like River City Ransom enough. The music's still good. Anna Monoguchi did the soundtrack on it. They're pretty. All that stuff's good. The visuals are like kind of big chunky versus what you get like throwback visuals now are like smaller and less chunky, but are still look like the old stuff. So sometimes early on when I fired up the game, I was like, the game is giant. I wonder if they didn't do a zoom thing or something to it, because there's a snowball fight where enemies love to like hide off the screen now. I might end up going and checking out like the Reddit on the game, just like see what's going on with some of this shit, because there's just things going on that I'm like, yeah, but that's it. Hopefully, we'll put up a video tonight, and I'll see you guys soon enough.